Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. We have our student coordinator Priyal Raj as a moderator today, and he'll be introducing our guest speaker, Mr. Nikhil Deshpande. He's from MBA class of 2020. Priyal, are you there? Meanwhile, this Priyal joins for this session. We'll just have a small chit chat with Nikhil. Hi, Nikhil, how are you? Nikhil, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
Right. So how is the feeling like of coming back and interacting with your juniors and guiding them to like what corporate is, how industry will act like once they'll get into it.
Nothing much, like I'm just a recent pass out, so not much more feeling like we are the same year.
Can
Just
you
the
all
difference is
hear me
I'm
now?
into, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
so.
Priyal
Like,
joined. Priyal joined. Priyal, can you come
Can you
back?
all
Like,
can you all hear me now?
yes, we can hear you. So like right, Nikhil, let's have this chit chat in the Q&A session and let Priyal join the session now. Yeah, okay, good.
yes.
Okay,
Okay,
Priyal, you
fine.
can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning all. I'm Raj Priyal from Pune, Maharashtra, and I'm doing BBA and I'm the student of first year from ASM Institute group of institutes. So today it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker, Mr. Nikhil Deshpande, who is experienced in HR generalist at Forasia India Private Limited. I think this is the subject in which many students will be deeply interested. And he is also experienced technical recruiter with a demonstrative history of working in staffing and recruiting industry. He is skilled in Microsoft Excel, customer service, Microsoft Word, public speaking, and Microsoft Office. Today, Mr. Nikhil Spande will be sharing his whole journey from college life till now. So, Nikhil, you can start.
Yeah, thank you, Priyal. Thank you for this great introduction about me. Like, it's feeling like I would achieve something, but it's a start for me. And as you said, like
Yeah,
it's an I am the recent pass out student, and that shows that I'm between amongst you. So thank you for giving a great introduction about me. Let's start about what is basically an HR. So the basically HR refers to an individual or a personal or workflows within an organization where they are responsible to performing the task given for all the purpose of achievement as well as the goals and the objectives of an organization. um, so this seems to be like an theory part, right? For all of them. So I will just make I will just brief you about what the things in short and in a easy way. So basically there are two entities for having a business. Okay, so one is management, where they are just kind of they just want a business to run, and the second one is the employees, where the business is actually done. So HR is the mediator between both of them. So where the HR work is like to handle the businessman as well as the employees. So having as you said, a human resource means itself like handling the human part of an organization. We are not dealing with the machines, we are dealing with the employees. So basically we are much more we can say it's very difficult to handle the emotions of the employees as compared to the machines. So uh, it's a difficult task to do, but as well as it will help you and also help you in your life, like how to interact with the humans, as well as how to have the how we share the feelings with the employees and all the things, and how to achieve. Like, it doesn't mean that you always have to work with the employees. You basically the main motto is that we have to earn the business, and business itself means the money. So we have to take the work out of from the employees and give it to the business. So this is the mediation thing which we have to do. And so this was initially the part of HR, like what the role of HR is. And then we will move ahead, like there are various types of HRs, like you must be have read, or you must be right now, if someone is from HR, or uh, are all of the like guests this are from HR, or they are just first year students, anything. You can answer if there is anyone from HR. I think so none of them are from HR. Just being just will be an interactive session, like I need some responses. I just don't want that I am just speaking and speaking and nobody is listening or what.
So, Nikhil here, I
No,
think
no, Nikhil.
uh, Priyal, we are losing you again. We are not able to hear you. Nikhil
Yeah.
here, like people can interact with you using chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
You
like
can
all
just.
of, yeah, even attendees, like this is normal. You can use chat to interact with Nikhil and give answers to him.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, that there are many roles in HR, like from the recruitment, then being a site HR, then the employee shared services, that is ESS, and then the legal and compliances part are these are the various roles which an HR has to play in an organization. So. Uh, just I will explain this four parts, like what's the basic role of them. So starting with the recruitment thing. uh, the recruitment is like a process where it starts secondly. First, the business, that is management, thinks that yes, we want these positions to be hired in an organization where we need that person to be hired. So after that message, then the job is been pushed to the HR recruitment team, where the recruiters or recruitment team has to source the candidate as per the requirement which is given by the management. And then the sourcing is done like on various platforms. You can say like basically now you must be knowing that there are many online portals which are going, that are like LinkedIn, then Monster, then Naukri and all the things. So this is the secondary part. The first part is like we take the internal recruitment as well as the internal recruitment means if there is an efficient employee who has that ability to do that thing, but he's working as a different position, so we recruit him on that position and just we give him the promotion, and just we fill up that position. So this is known as the internal recruitment which is done, or by the references. There are two internal recruitment things which are in the internal recruitment. And the second one is that the external recruitment, where the previously, as you know, that we have to the HR comes into the college and they take the interview and all the things. This is one part of like external recruitment system, as well as nowadays we search online and we get many resumes and we schedule them, as well as we source them, and then we finalize the candidate. So like the second part was the sourcing. After that, the sourcing is done, we have to clarify all the things, like if we are putting one position, we get thousands and lakhs of this requisitions for the position. So we have to sort it out, and accordingly we have to check the ability and the skills as said by the management. And as per that, we have to select some of the candidates for the next position, next level, and then the interview part has been taken. uh, the like as you said, as you see, like the interview thing is done by two of the peoples. Like initially it is done by the HR and then by the management, like to which position, or the manager who is the manager of that position, he takes an interview, like the technical part, and then the onboarding process is done. So like this, the next part from the recruitment process over here. So after the recruitment process, it comes to the ESS part, that is employee shared services, where the induction of the employee has been done. After the induction, after the induction part is done, then the filing of the employee from like all the documentation which is been needed for hiring him is done over there. Then the all the payroll part is done over here, like in the employee shared services. And then the picture comes for the site HR. Like a site HR is a thing where he has to look after the whole site. If it is a plant, then it's a plant HR, or if we are working in the corporate thing, then there are individual sites which you have to look over. So the corporate thing, in the corporate thing, the site HR is the main who looks after the whole site. And where there must be there can be n number of employees. There can be 100 employees, or for there can be thousands of employees. So it depends on the capacity of any management or any company, but he has to handle all the employees over there. And for that support, for their support, employee shared services and recruitment teams are helping out. And after, like, these are the three parts which are going hand to hand. And the most important and the most difficult part is the compliance, where the legal entities and legal part is been done, where you have to manage all the legal things in the of the organization. And it's the most difficult and the critical part, like where we have to handle all the legals. And as you know, the legal is very sensitive part, so it is been handled very carefully. So this was some introduction about what is been HR. So as many of must be knowing, like HR is an thing where they just wish on birthdays, they wish us on there is no any work for them. They just do rangolis in Diwali itself and all the things. So this is a little bit part where we have to keep the employees motivating and all the things. So this is a controversial part, but the main part is this, like which I explained. Uh, so uh, so basically this all thing is, and all things are about HR. So going forward, like as we see right now, there is a there was a COVID situation where many of them have lost their jobs. So don't worry about it. Right now, we are having, like, the HR is HR from the company are like in full fledged to hire all the candidates, which, like, the positions are reopening. So if anybody wants to seek the opportunity, just grab the opportunity, just search for the jobs which are being posted on the portals and all the things. So give it your best shot over there. Like, keep your profile updated, that can be matched. Like, if you're keeping your profile updated, that will help you uh, like been noticed quickly as compared to the other candidates. So uh, this is like all about HR, and after the COVID, what has to be done. Okay, so so I will share my journey. Okay, so how it started. Basically, I started my journey as a recruiter, where I was a sourcing specialist uh, in an organization which was an US based company. And where I had to work from, from 6 o'clock in the evening till 3 o'clock, because it was an US shift. So you have to match the timings. So in sourcing, like we have to check, as I said, like we were sitting in India and sourcing for the US candidates. So basically we have to source it on Naukri or Portal or Monster. So they have Monster thing, like there is no any Naukri and this thing. We had to search on Monster as well as some LinkedIn profiles. Where the management from the US where to send us the candidates profile, where we have to source them, we have to search accordingly, and then we have to finalize the things, and then it go for the next step. So this was the initial stage where I was been like as an sourcing expert, and then I became a recruiter, where the next part, like the onboarding process were been handled for a few days. But then I joined ASM IBMR for a MBA course. I was been like privileged to join ASM IBMR, like where I got much more opportunity. Like I got much more knowledge about what is an HR. Uh, like in around a year or something, I got an opportunity to join Forasia with the help of ASM Group, due to the context from the recruitment team of our college. I got an introduction with Forasia, and I joined Forasia as an facility manager previously. So the facility is one of the part of HR, where we have to handle all the facilities which are given by the company to the employees for keeping them motivated and all the things. So basically, we have to keep uh, the organization in a proper way as it is, and the facilities, like we have to handle all the facilities from right from the transport, then the canteen service which we are giving, as well as the maintenance, the housekeeping and all the things which is mandatory. So I did it for almost 7 to 8 months, and then I entered into recruitment as well as shared services. That is HR generalist position, where the onboarding of an employee from, as I said, that from um, basically okay, basically from onboarding, that is the induction part of an candidate. From let's take an example, like if you have been selected in a company, then the next process is that we have to onboard that employee, and for onboarding process there should be an introduction for that employee about that company. So that part is been handled by me, where I have to give an brief introduction about the company itself to the employees, and then the documentation part has been done over there. So all the documents which are mandatory as per the guidelines is been submitted and is been noted down in our data, and then the whole journey, like from his starting till his end, the whole data has been maintained by the ESS team, that is the generalist, that is the HR generalist position. And as well as the monthly payments which are being done are done by the help of the data which we are maintaining, and we have all the data of each candidate and each employee. So so that it is an helpful thing for the finance for doing the payroll thing. So basically it's an combined between the induction as onboarding of the candidates as well as the payroll thing. So this is the actual job which I am doing right now. So this was all about me, like this was a journey. So okay, there are many certifications which are needed, okay, if required. You can also join the courses which are on LinkedIn. Like I have recently joined some of the sessions which are great helpful for an HR being, like HR administrative uh, part is also good certification course, as well as like the basic and mandatory thing is for an HR is having a deep knowledge about MS Office. It's the most important part, and the communication skills, because without communication and without Excel, uh, it's very difficult for being an HR thing. So I think so. Communication is the most important part for every HR to interact with the employee, because we don't know where the person or where the employee is from. He must be from India, or like, as we know, India is a nation where there are multiple states, so multiple languages. So you must be knowing some of the languages, but English is like the thing where you can connect with all of them. So basically, communication skill is a plus point for everybody. So that is the thing. And the next one is MS Office thing, where you must be an expert in it. Like, we can't be an expert, but basically introduction part must be clear about the MS Office, at least the Word and the Excel, so that it will be helpful for you in the this corporate world.
Right, right.
Okay,
So,
Nikhil, sir,
Yes.
can just want to ask something. Ankit want to
Mhm.
ask. Can you share
Okay.
your interview experience and some tips to crack interview? What all things we need to prepare for interview?
Okay. So basically, first of all, those opportunity which are knocking, just crack it. Just go there. Don't see that which position is it suitable for me. Isn't suitable for me. Just go there. Just give an interview. Okay, for preparing an interview, just know about the company, like where you're going. For about the organization, just have a small a small introduction, or some knowledge about that company where you're going for an interview. And then the technical skills, like just check uh, the description about the job, that is job description given. Just check uh, just check that, and as well as the technical skills which are mandatory in that JD. Just look after that. If you're suitable, if you're comfortable, then only go for the interview. Because if you go without seeing an JD and just enter into the room and you're just answering blah blah and things, so it gives a bad impression on uh, the recruiter. Like, uh, has he seen the JD or not? Like, why he's been in the organization for the interview? And so basically, just go through the JD, and just be confident on your communication skills. That's it. No much tips about how to give an interview, that everyone knows. Like, just be confident, and just enter the room in confidence, and just uh, speak whatever you know. Just don't hesitate while giving an answer. That's the main thing
Oh,
which every candidate has to. And if you are not comfortable in explaining your thing, but you know that thing, just go smoothly. Like, you can ask the interviewer that, can I speak in the language which you're comfortable in.
okay. Nikhil, so I think we can start the Q&A session now. Hello, Mr. Nikhil, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
sure.
Yeah, we can. I can think we can start the Q&A session now.
yeah, real. So you
So,
Yes,
can pick
yes.
up questions.
sir, Pragatha is asking, sir, I am an engineering student. What skills are required to become HR?
Mhm. For being an engineering student and entering into an HR, so nothing is required. Like, just you have to be curious about all the HR things which are mandatory. Just having the knowledge of
Okay,
HR
and
is most important, and some certification has been required for being an HR. There is no Yeah.
So, Priyal, what will
Okay,
is
and
Priyal, just like you can put your like microphone on mute because there's a lot of disturbance. Maybe we can pick up, like I'll just pick up
okay, okay,
questions from the Q&A and yeah, yeah. So Nikhil, can you hear us?
okay.
Nikhil, I think we lost you. So okay, we'll just wait for Nikhil to join back. Yeah, yeah. Nikhil, can you hear us
Sorry.
now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
no problem. Like I think there was a net connectivity issue. So Nikhil,
Hmm.
there's a question by Aaron. Like we can work on the same thing. Like he's an engineering student, and what skills are required to become a HR? Like what all things he should work on? Should he like work through the certification courses or anything? Like,
Like the certification course means you can do the PGDM thing or the MBA in HR.
okay,
There are many online certification courses which are going on right now in the COVID situation. So you can go through it, and uh, that's it. There is no any much more skills which are required for being an HR.
okay,
Just a good communication skills and man handling process, which must be knowing through that certification course, which is,
okay.
and the curiosity to be an HR. That's it.
Right, right. There's one another question, like what are the different type of work and job responsibilities in HR? So normally people are not aware of it, that there are
Hmm.
different type of responsibilities in the HR department as well. So can you
Hmm.
like tell like you can break it into two or three like work, what all works are there? Like you are into HR journalist, right? You are into employee
Hmm.
engagement. So like similar way, like what all fields they can actually explore when they are getting into HR jobs. So you can tell about that.
Yes, sure. As I said in earlier, that HR is a position where we have to manage the business as well as the employees. So uh, the management runs upon us for having a smooth coordination between the employees and earning the business. So as you see, this is the main thing which HR does to bring the business and to keep the business in a smooth way. So this is the first thing which an HR does. The second one is like choosing a proper and correct candidate for that position, which is done by the recruitment team, which is very difficult because like from the thousand resumes, you have to select one or two candidates which are suitable for that job, and you had to like uh, the select that candidate which is which should be a good asset for the organization. So selecting a candidate from thousands, it's a most difficult job which you have to do. And the third part is like engaging the employee for in the organization for a longer period, because as we know, the trend is going on that in 2 or 3 years the employees start searching different jobs because they are not happy with the organization, or they are not happy with the facilities which an company gives, or they need some more progress in their career. So in keeping them motivated, keeping them engaged with the organization, this is the basic uh, component or the basic part of which an HR does. So it's a difficult part because keeping an human at one position is very difficult. So you can keep machines at position for longer period, but keeping humans for one position for a longer period is it's a difficult job. So these are the difficult jobs which an HR does, I think so. And it's been it will be helpful for everyone, like how an engagement is done and all the things. So HR is like position where you have to play with the feelings of the employees. So that's the most important part an HR does.
Right, right. So there's a question from my side in addition to this. So normally,
Hmm.
when you say that you keep your employees engaged, and it's like because it's quite tough. Normally, after 1 or 2 years, people start looking for better opportunities. When I say better opportunity, in they say like if we are getting more salary outside, right? So maybe
Mm-hmm.
we'll switch and then we'll want to grow and all. So in that case, what all initiatives you take being an HR generalist to keep them intact? Like how what all things you do basically in being an HR generalist so that your employees retain with you?
Yeah, being an HR generalist, we have the whole summary of an employee. Like if an employee's performance is going down, then we have to push him for the training purpose, where where we initiate our training and development team, to give some different kinds of training which have been needed. There are like two types of trainings, technical training and non-technical training. If the employees are demotivated with the facilities or with the organization, then we give him the facilities which he wants, or the trainings the non-technical trainings where he can be motivated on all the things. And if he's lacking in the technical skills, then we provide him the technical trainings where he can generate his technical skills, and where he also get free of cost certification courses through the organization, and he retains to the organization itself.
Right. So it seems there's a hotshot question over here in Q&A. It's by Akhila. She's asking 5 questions. Yeah, so there are 5 questions. Nikhil, you there? I think we lost Nikhil once again. Just have to check. Yeah, Nikhil, are you back?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Okay. Yes. Right. So there's one hotshot question. Like one of the student coordinator have 5 questions for you, out of which the first one is what are the top demanding skills we need for now and in future if we want to set our career in HR field. So as you mentioned, like MS Office, and also in addition to that, what do you feel that does creativity and communication also plays a part in having a good career growth in HR?
Communication skills is a part of an it's a mandatory part for an HR, but as you said, designing and all the things, there's that part comes secondary, because it's not that needed, but you have to keep the employees engaged. So it is an secondary part. So basically these two or three parts which I have been explained, the communication skills as well as the MS Office skills, and the curiosity about knowing the human things. So these are the three parts which HR needs for having a good career in an HR field.
So normally, because you deal with humans, right? Unlike engineers and all, where they're dealing with machines. Being an HR might be requiring a lot of interpersonal skills, like when you have to engage them. So if like being a student, if you really have to get into like learn how to have this interpersonal skills, how will you guide your juniors, like how to build up that in themselves? Because being a student, we all know we are very shy, right? And it
Mhm.
becomes very difficult when we are reaching out to someone else, even to make them a friend, right? In nature you have
Mhm.
to do that anyways. So how do you feel, how did you build this interpersonal skill in yourself, and how will you guide your students to build this?
Basically, first of all, you have to do one thing, uh, like there are some seminars which are being kept in the college. Also there are some activities which where we have to go on the stage and we have to explain the things. Like if some teachers ask you about to explain the thing, then you have to be confident, and you have to face it, because if you don't face there, then you will be having some problem in your future. So just be confident, and being keeping you confident and keeping you motivated, that's the main route where you can do when you can interact with everybody. Like, see, interaction is a thing where give and take of process is done. So if you are not speaking, if you are not interacting, then the other person is also like mom, uh, like he will also not speak. because you're not speaking, then why should he speak? So getting the information or getting the things from the other person, then you have to start. So start speaking and just be confident and just be courageful. That's it.
Right,
Nothing much
right,
needed.
right. There's a follow-up question to that, like how artificial intelligence you feel that is affecting HR nowadays?
Right now, artificial intelligence is it's an plus point as well as a negative minus point for the HR, because like for doing the payroll system, we have like in previous days, it was lot of hard works to be done for calculating all the things. Nowadays, artificial intelligence, like various different softwares are being used for doing the payroll process. So it has been easy for us, like just entering the data into it, and just we can get all the things in just a minute, as well as uh, the career and development, like the development process or the trainings which we have been giving normally, that is face to face trainings were there. But nowadays all the things are going online, you can say due to COVID, or before that also. So uh, it's an effect, like it's not affecting, it's helping us for improving our things. The artificial
Right.
intelligence things is helping, it's an backbone for HR, as well as some helping part is also done.
Okay, good. And the next question is, what are the major challenges faced by traditional HRM and how the modern HRM is handling those challenges?
See, as you know, that traditional HRM is the thing uh, where there are some points which are been modernized and the modern HRM is done. So there are no any major challenges which the tradition or the modern HR. There are no any difference between modern and tradition. Just a few points have been added into the modern HRM thing, and just it is been modified. So nothing more about that. That there is no any big challenge between. There is no any major challenges.
Okay, right. So, like, what will be the HR trends in 2021? And like, according to you, how the HR trends, will shift in next coming 5 years?
In coming 5 years, it's very long. Like you're asking for like for the future, but as in 2021, the interview which were placed by face to face are converted into this video calling app, and the artificial intelligence has been introduced in this part, in the recruitment thing. And hopefully the interactive session or the it by the help of the artificial intelligence, uh, there are some upcoming apps, or some softwares are going for the payroll as well. So it will help you for being smooth process, going into some smooth process for HR.
Right, right. So, like, what are the highest paying HR jobs? Like, not exactly about highest salary, like, which HR job has demand, example, compensation manager, training and development managers, and like, what do you feel in HR field itself if somebody has to opt for a higher paying job? So, normally students look at that only, campus placement season, right? So, what do you feel where they can get actually?
Okay, so frankly speaking, HR is a job where you expect some less salary and some more hard work. Okay, so yeah, initially you are paid very less, and then if you are doing it well, then it depends on your performance itself. So there is no any difference, like the recruitment team is getting more, the HR generalists are getting more pay or something, but initially the performance which you're performing, the salary depends on the performance itself. As we are countering the engineers performance, the management is countering our performance, how we are maintaining the thing, how we are doing all the stuff which are initiated. Are we giving a good business for the management? This depends. This whole thing has been countered by the management, and which is counted on us. So our performance is managed by the management, and the salary depends on the performance itself.
Right. So there's one more question by like attendee. Like,
I'm
what do
not able to
recruiters?
hear you.
What about now? Am I clear? Hello. Uh, am I clear now?
Hello.
Can some of your student coordinators can am I clear
Yeah,
to you?
I'm not able to hear you properly. Just I
Gagan sir,
can
you are
just
audible. Nikhil sir, can you hear us?
No, your
Nikhil sir, can
voice is
you?
not clear, Gaganji.
Uh, I'll just inform Nikhil through chat. Wait, hold on a second.
can you check your connection?
Yeah, actually, we can hear you, Nikhil. The only
Just a
thing is,
minute. Just a minute.
yeah, you can just check your headset if.
Hello.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, so could be a reason because like yesterday also in one of webinar I was using my AirDope, so normally they discharge like within few time when you're having it
Ah.
attached to laptop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there was this question like what do recruiters look in resume?
Pardon. Just repeat the question.
So what do recruiters look in resume? So most of the students, they put a lot of hard work while creating resume. They'll put up a lot of things, from hobbies to,
Mm.
like so. But then when resume is something you can say a first impression of a candidate before he enters the home, right? People look at your resume before you actually get in. So what are the
Mhm.
things which they actually look at? Like whether it is the skills or the marks or the institution name, what do you think that they look at?
Okay. So, while searching for an candidate, like for being an sourcing specialist, so we have to put some like if they are looking for, and for take an example, they are looking for an engineer who is basically a good in technical specialist, or like he require the requirement is a technical specialist person. Okay, so we source the candidate as per the taglines. Like if we want a technical specialist, then we just enter technical specialist, and then the location as we want, and then we like there are some keywords which we use which are required for that position. Accordingly, we search the candidate, and from the resumes which are being sourced from that technical like from that keywords, we sort them out. So basically you have to keep like the if you want to be an HR, so just keep the communication skills, then the MS Excel, MS Word files into consideration, as well as some HR thing into it, so it gets reflected to an HR, the sourcing person, so yeah, he can go through it. So basically
Okay.
tag words are there which are being used. So basically use that thing which will help you in getting much more easy references.
Right, right. So actually in resume nowadays, I saw a lot of students, they are, putting a lot of hard work in designing it rather than writing it. You'll find a lot of designs coming up, creativity in designing a resume. But does it
Hmm.
really, impact employers? Because, that there are two type of resumes, if I'm not wrong. One is normal resume, which you present through, you send it through your email. But sometimes your recruiters ask you to create an ATS resume. Right.
Hmm.
So what basically that ATS resume is? How do you have to? Can you just put some light on that? Just because sometimes people think that designing resume will help them out. Having a creativity. full of colors and full of pie charts and graphs. But does it really affect the employer when they look at the resume or the candidate?
Yeah. Basically, see, if you are designing your resume, first of all, you have to just there are three main parts which have been counted in the resume. That is your first of all your education. If then the things which you have been mastered in, then and at the last, in what profession you are excellent, or if you are having an experience, then the experience part. This three or four parts are the major things. uh, Rest all the things is nothing for that purpose, like uh, the name. Just keeping it normal, just keep your resume normal, because if you're making it complicated, it will be complicated for the recruiter also to highlight you, and it will be difficult for the technical person who is taking your interview for searching what you are explaining him. So keeping it simple, like if you are keeping it simple, then the person who is taking an interview can find it easily, which will help him also as well as help you that to counter it. So keep your resumes normal. Just put the necessary information, like I said, your name, then the education, then the experience which you are having, then the qualities which you are having, and the curricular activities you have been faced, and the basic information which must be there at the end. That's it. That's the resume is all about.
Right. There's a question like, sir, being a final year student, how can I reach out to HRs for jobs to have offer in addition to campus placements? So like there are students, those like anyways, campus placements will be provided by institution, right? But in addition to that, if a final year student has to reach out to HR, so what all ways he can actually approach them for the job?
So for being into the corporate world, first of all, you have to keep the profile updated, as I said, on Naukri as well as LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a platform which is been used by the recruiters, uh, m- like for the most of the recruitments. So LinkedIn as well as Monster and Naukri, you have to keep your profile updated, keep updating it, keep giving additions to it, like you can do the certification, you can just add into it, so it will just pop up every time for the recruiters. And as I said, like keep the keywords into it, so that the HR can find out you and find out your profile, which will help you in getting the calls from the HR.
Right. Cool. So the next question is how to gain confidence in tough competition. Like how do HR look at either marks or institution name, or whether they look at the skills? Actually, when maybe the question is like, there's a like there's like two positions available in a company, and you have people coming from a lot of places, right? A lot of
Mhm.
institutions, including IIM, STAPME, XLRI, and over there, yeah, you have seen students somewhere they lose hope in the starting itself. So how will you say like how to build up your confidence when you already have skills with you? So
So basically, for me, like the marks are a different thing. Like if you're having a good score, it's different. But having a good score and having a practical knowledge, like the practical knowledge is none, and you are scoring 98%, then what's the use for the organization? If we are investing money into you, that's because of your experience, or that's because of your having a knowledge of technical things. So marks is a different thing, but entering into practical is more important. So how practical you are, it's more important for the HR, rather than being having a good score. Good score is also important, but the score doesn't mean that the like you're having the knowledge but you can't use it. So having a knowledge and also knowing where to use and where to implement is the more thing which is been seen by HR. Like if you're having a proper knowledge of that field and you can utilize it in a proper channel, then the HR will So this this is the thing which HR looks into. Like the marks is a marks are like okay, you can score good part, but using it in a proper way is more important.
Right. In addition to this, when you were talking about like the more practical knowledge, we have seen when like a lot of people, like students, they really want to put their hands on a startup, or they want to work with their own idea. But what if
Mhm.
like after 1 2 years, if it doesn't work out, right? So do HRs look at people, those who have some entrepreneurship experience or entrepreneurial experience, or they have some, skills which can actually be made, because they feel that they'll not be able to pick up just because they're having a gap, but they don't see that there's a that itself 2 years is full of experience. So does HR look at people, those who are trying out startups?
Yes. Basically, see, if there is a gap between your education or some like your education is completed and you're going for an interview after 1 year or 2 years, then usually there is a question from an recruiter that why the gap is there, like what were you doing in this coming 2 years? So if you answer them like you were doing this thing, but it didn't got in a proper channel way, so that part has been counted, like why it was not successful, because have you done the efforts or not? Like the efforts which you have put it into are been counted. Okay, and then if you are doing the certification, and if you are not doing the certification in full successful way, then the part is counted, like uh, then the part is seen like if he is choosing this career by his own, and if he's not entering into a correct manner, like if he's not fulfilling it, then if we are giving him the project, and if he says like it's not okay for me, then he will live in between. So this part is also been counted, like uh, जैसे कहा जाता है कि आपको एक काम दिया जाता है तो उसको कंप्लीट ही करके छोड़ना चाहिए। तो अगर उसने नहीं किया वो चीज, तो वो एक ये रहता है कि भाई इसको बीच में छोड़ने की आदत है, लाइक उसको नहीं हो रहा है तो वो छोड़ देगा। यही चीज काउंटर की जाती है कि आपको अगर लाइक इफ यू आर गिवन अ टास्क इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ओके, सो entering into the organization, they are investing money into you. So if you are living in between, so that money is full of waste, so that part is counted, like why you're not completing it. If you're putting the efforts in a proper channel, still it has not worked, that doesn't matter, but the efforts are being checked by an HR.
Okay, great. Let's pick up this last question. It's by Tanu Singh. How would you effectively use social media for recruitment?
For recruitment, like I was also been selected through my Naukri profile, as well as by the help of college. Okay, so first of all, the my first job was through the Naukri profile, and getting into Foresha was with the help of ASM. So the like as you said that these things are mostly used nowadays, and due to COVID situation, nowadays recruiters are using this social media thing more, and it's influencing the recruiters to go on that platform and search for the candidates instead of going into the college and searching for many students. You can pick up the profiles from all over the India and get a proper candidate which you are required. So this is most helpful for the recruiters getting into online social media.
Uh, right, right. So I think we are done with all the questions. All good questions came up by students, and you answered like anything. Like obviously a mentor to them as of you're a pass out, you have got into industry. You know at like what like with your new experience also what things are going on. Thank you so much for that. Just before we like as we are coming to like ending up this within 4 5 minutes, as the 1 hour is it just went like anything like this 1 hour. right? So how would you just because there are a lot of students here, and you can just share a small thing, like how were you preparing for your exams, like how you were able to crack MBAs, like, and all the exams in MBA, and you will be having some projects also, right? So how
Yeah.
to, what will you guide students to, because most of them are into their final years and pre-final years. If you talk about
Mhm.
MBA, then first years and second years. So just guide them with your experience how to crack exams and get out into the industry and create a boom.
Mhm. See, basically, being into this final year or something is nothing part. Like I'm still learning. If you are entering into any organization, you are still a student. Okay, so student profile is not been removed, or the tag is not been removed from any person. The learning phase is continuously on. But while doing an MBA, like uh, just enjoy it, just enjoy the learning, just use your experience, because as I said, experience teaches you more than the bookish knowledge. So if you are having that experience in a proper way, and if with the help of the bookish the books, uh, if you channelize in a proper way, then you can score a good marks, because practical knowledge as well as the book knowledge is more important in helping you to get a good score in MBS. So for doing your practicals also, just be confident, and just go through the projects, as well as you can nowadays we are taking help of Google. Like Google is a god for us nowadays. So use Google, use to the extreme end, take help of Google, and search for many projects, as well as search for, like, you have to be curious about your projects. So if you're doing a small part of that project, then just don't look for that small part. You have to cover entire thing, entire project, and then you can so that you can explain that small part in a proper way and big manner. So like go into deep thing, so that you can have a deep knowledge about every um project, as well as every knowledge which will help you in future. Like the knowledge it never ends. So keep learning. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Nikhil. Thank you so much for your time. And we feel really like we have, as of now, we have 10 students on panel as well. They are
Okay.
working really hard to uh, get the alumni network together. And
Mhm.
it is all their hard work. Like, we are doing this webinars for students with the help of their seniors, right? And thank you so much, student team, for organizing this beautiful webinar. And anything, Nikhil, before we go wind up, anything from your side you want to convey?
No, just work hard, and just be motivated, because there are lots of opportunities being opened right now. Because we have seen many losses in COVID situation. So all the job losses are being covered in 2021. So hopefully 2021 will be great for all, and you will be MBA pass out, as well as you must be having a degree with you, so which will help you and boom you in the corporate world. And uh, I wish uh, as soon as possible, like, you enter in the corporate world and get an experience which will be helpful for you as well as for your life.
Right. Thank you so much, Nikhil, and thank you so much, team, for organizing this. You can see thank you coming from your in the chats as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We really feel proud when an alumni comes back and give back, in terms of their experience and whatever knowledge they have gained. This is the third webinar in this series. We are looking for more, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone for joining us today for this amazing webinar. We are signing off for this session. Thanks,
Okay.
Nikhil.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.